Hey everyone, if you're managing internal workflows and tired of chasing down scattered data, this video is for you. Today we're going to be diving into how to use SharePoint list forms to streamline data collection. So without giving anyone access to the full list, we're going to allow them to submit data to this list. So here we're creating a SharePoint list and customizing the form. We'll have a requests list. We'll also have an equipment details list that we'll be using in a lookup column. We'll rename the title fields for clarity, we'll publish and share the form internally, and then we can create a second form for a different user group, all connected to the same list. Let's start building. We'll start on the SharePoint homepage. So from the SharePoint homepage, there's a new button dropdown. On this new button dropdown, we can create a list. Now this list is going to hold all of our data, so we're going to go ahead and create from a blank list, and you'll want to go ahead and give your list a name. Once you've given your list a name, you'll go ahead and click create, and then it will take you to that SharePoint list. Every SharePoint list is going to start with a blank title column. Now this column on the back end is always going to be named title. However, in this drop down here, you can go ahead and click column settings and rename. And I like to go ahead and type a dash and just give it name for the backend user and click save. Once you have the title column set up, you'll go ahead and click add column, and we'll continue to add columns to this list that meet your data requesting needs. So since I'm doing an equipment request, I'm going to go ahead and add columns like the department and the equipment type and a justification, and we'll have a requested date in there, a manager approval status, and some manager comments. I'll go ahead and set those up now, and we'll come back. Now that I have all of my columns set up, it's ready to start collecting data. So in order to set up the list form to collect that data, I'll go ahead and click on the Forms button here, and you'll see that you can create a new form. So I'll click Create New Form, and we're going to start with the title of our form. This is going to be our Employee Equipment Request form. You can add a description or a logo to this form if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. And then you can see here that we have all of the different columns that we've set up, and we also have all of those different columns over here on the right-hand side. Now notice that the attachments one is default unselected. If you need people to add documents to this, you can go ahead and click to add the attachments, and people can upload a document directly tied to this record. Or we can come in here and we can uncheck certain things. So I don't want the manager approval status, comments, or attachments to be in this form. And then the requested date, I set this to default to today's date. So I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this as well, since that information will automatically be populated. Now that we've set up which fields we want to show or hide, we can come in here and see how this says title-requester name. We can go ahead and we can change the name of this for the user, and we don't have to change the name of it on the back end. So your name will not be the column name. The column name will still be the title, but we can change this so it's a little more end user friendly here. So for example, again, we could change this to your department, so it feels more customized. Now notice when we open these up that there are some, like the title column, that are going to be required. And there are some here, like the your department, we can choose to require this in the form. And we can continue to come down. Equipment type we can also require. And we can go ahead and add a required field to justification as well. Now, there are some basic themes and color settings you can use. If you click on this themes dropdown, you can see that there's a few different options here of different color styles. Or if you click create your own style, you can choose from just a bit more of the colors. So I'll go ahead and choose this one, and I'll make this my button. Now notice that this theme color doesn't change anything, it will just change your submit button color. Every change that we're making is automatically saved. We can see that up here. So we don't need to click on any sort of save button. We can come into the settings and we can do a couple other things. We can choose to accept responses between a certain start date and end date. So if we're not quite ready for this to go live yet, we can add a start date that's in the future. Or if we want this to stop allowing users to fill this out, we can also add an end date in here. You can change the message, and you can choose to notify me every time a new response is submitted. I'm going to go ahead and leave this blank. And you can see that there's also this branching option. So based on certain choices, you can add branching here. So let's say that based on a certain department, you needed one additional question. You could go ahead and click the ellipses here and add branching. And then you can see, if you've worked with Microsoft Forms at all, that this is exactly how that works. So if your department is marketing or sales, maybe we need to know their equipment type. If it's the IT department, we can just say, let's put them right to the justification question. Notice those changes are saved again. We can go ahead and click on Send Form. And I'd like to point out that this link is for internal users. So no one external to my organization can respond to this. And the reason is that information is directly inputted into your SharePoint list. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. I'll go ahead and click Copy Link. And I'll come and open a new tab and put that link in here. Now, notice that it's saying that when I submit this form, the person is going to see my name and email address. And that's good, but that doesn't mean that this information is automatically populated into the title column here. So we have to go ahead and keep that. I'll go ahead and select my department as marketing, and you can see once I do that those branched questions start to populate. If I were to select IT, notice that other question does not exist. And I'll go ahead and fill in the equipment type and a justification here. And I'll go ahead and click Submit. Right here, the thank you, your response has been submitted. This is where that custom submission text would show up. I can come back into my list here and I'll exit out. And I'll go ahead and give this a refresh. And you can see here that the information I inputted is in here along with that requested date defaulted to today's date. Now, if you don't know how to do this, you can go ahead and come into here, into the column settings and edit. And you'll want to be looking for this default value here. And in this dropdown, you can select today's date. This is one way to create a form, really quickly and easily get information from other internal members at your organization. The other thing that we can add that's really interesting here, if we click Add Column, is a lookup column. Now, in order for a lookup column to work, we need to have a different list to look up from. So in this scenario here, I could see where equipment details or the name of the equipment would be a good place that we could add a lookup. So here's how we do this. We'll go ahead and go home. We'll start a new list here, and we'll start from a blank list. And we'll say that this is our equipment details list. And click Create. And then once again, we're going to be dropped right into this blank list. Our title column here, this is going to be the name of my equipment. So I'll go ahead and rename this. I'll just add that little dash here. And again, in the back end, if we're using Power Automate or anything like that, even though I added this little dash equipment name, this will only ever be the title column when you're referencing it. I'm going to go ahead and add a choice column here. And this will be the category. I'll go ahead and fill in the different choices and click Save. Then we can add a column. I'll keep this as a text column, and this will be the model number, and click Save. Then I'll add a multiple lines of text column called the specifications. And our last column will be another choice column here, and this will be our availability. And I'll go ahead and add in the choices and click Save. Now, in order for this lookup column in our form to work properly, we need to go ahead and have some data in here. So I'm going to go ahead and populate this list with data. Now that we have our equipment details list set up, we can go ahead and come back over to our equipment requests. We can add a column here, and we can add this to be a lookup column and click Next. And we can title our column here. I'll say that this is equipment details. And we can go ahead and we can choose which list is our source. So we'll want to go ahead and find our equipment details list. And then we can select the column that we're pulling into here. So let's say we want people to choose from the title. And we'll go ahead and in this more options, you can choose if you also want to bring in additional information about this. So let's say in here that we also want to know the model number of what they're selecting. We can go ahead and do that, and I'll click Save. Now you'll notice that it adds in two columns here with this kind of double arrow icon. And you can see one is called Equipment Details and one is called Equipment Details : model number. So let's go ahead and we'll come back into our form, and we can open this form up and we can choose to add this question to this form. Or let's say a different subset of employees need to have the equipment details in there. You could go ahead and come into forms. You could create a second form from this list, and we can call this our equipment details request form. Again, you can add your own logo or description, and you can choose in this secondary form which items you want to include, and you can also drag the order around in. So I'm going to remove requested date and the manager information, and I'm going to move the equipment details underneath the equipment type. And we'll go ahead and leave the justification in. And I'm going to leave all the other settings for this form the exact same, except I'm going to come in here and require this. Now again, when you open this lookup column up, you can see here which list and which column they'll be selecting from. Let's go ahead and click Send Form and copy this link. And I'll come over into another new tab and open this up. And now we can see our different form here. Notice that if I refresh this option, this form still stays the exact same, and this additional form is completely separate. So I'll go ahead and fill out the information. And when we get to our equipment details here, we can see in this dropdown, this list that I'm selecting from is the same SharePoint list. So I'll go ahead and select the correct equipment details. I'll add a justification, and I'll go ahead and click Submit. Again, we can customize this thank you message. I'll come back into SharePoint and we'll exit out of this. And I'll go ahead and refresh, and we can see how this information changes here. You can see here, since we made this equipment details mandatory, that it's giving us a notification that this first submission might be missing some information. So you want to think through, if you're going to have multiple forms, about including that required toggle on or off. You can see that it's not going to delete rows that don't have that required info though. Then you can see here that the requested date, all the information was added properly. You can see that this model number was brought in exactly from the other list. And you'll see that this lookup column is a link. If I click on that link, it's going to take me to the other list to give me more information about that item. Now you have a SharePoint list and some list forms, and you're ready to start collecting internal information. Thanks for watching.